Alrighty, it looks like we're going up. And we are up and running. Okay, what is going on, guys? Your boy Sam DeathWalk here. This is something I just thought of on the fly just now. This is going to be like a tangent series that I'm thinking about doing. Probably once every 2 weeks or whatever. Just talk normally about like stocks or whatever. Like right now I have a stock watch up right now, but welcome to tangents number 1. I'm gonna see how this goes. So first thing off rip, I do want to talk about is the stock market right now. The stock market is looking pretty good. I'm on Market Watch right now, and one of the things I've invested in is a Canadian cannabis company called Sundial. Sundial's down. Yeah, because the thing with a lot of these markets that I've been getting into in the stock market, like Sundial, I've been getting into more cannabis. It's down right now. The peak was this February 11th at 295. Ever since then, it's been fluctuating up and down. And hopefully, because the stock market's in a weird place right now, you got GameStop topping out at $17 billion and AMC right behind it. Like, right now, I just don't know how to feel about the stock market right now, to be honest with you. But hopefully, you know, the stock market does go back to normal. I don't know a whole lot about the stock market. I got into it a couple of months ago. I'm checking my other stocks at the moment. Like, Tesla's been weird recently. I've been down on Tesla for about a week now, and Apple. I don't know what's going on with that. But I know that Volkswagen is going up. A lot of these companies are going up. A lot of these companies are rising, and a lot of these companies are doing good. And hopefully that this company does, like, a lot of the stock market does go back up, because the stock market right now is in this weird state where it jumps, it lowers, it jumps, it lowers, it jumps, and it lowers. I've been keeping my eye on that for the past 2 weeks. I've been in the stock market for about almost 2 months now, and hopefully my stocks go up or to a point to where I can pull some investments out, make a little bit of money off of it, and then spread my investments across. That's like my initial plan. A lot of the stuff I did invest to is long term, and if you guys do get into the stock market, I do recommend you guys doing some research. I didn't do any research, and right now I'm just at that point to where I'm starting to understand it, but not fully. But hopefully, you know, the stock market will go back into its normal influx, because for some reason, well, it says right here that the Apple stock market's going up. It's so weird. But besides stock market talk, let's get out of that. I do want to talk about like a lot of shit that's been going on the Twitch thing. I heard about it last night, how they are only giving like the bigger Twitch channels more things to do, which I forgot what it was called exactly. I just watched a Drama Alert last night watched a Drama Alert video. I forgot what it was called. While I look this up, I want to talk about this actually. I watched the All-Star game over the weekend, and it was pretty mid. They had a guy in the dunk contest that wasn't really a dunker per se, but I mean, he did good. He did his thing. And hopefully he does pretty good in the NBA. Hopefully he starts dunking, because if he doesn't start dunking, then him winning it. He was the first, Anthony Simons, he's one of the first ever NBA one of the first NBA players of the Trailblazers to win the dunk contest. Steph Curry won the 3-point contest. Was kind of expected. I was rooting for Mike Conley. First time ever getting involved into it, and it kind of sucks knowing that he didn't get his chance to really show himself. He did show himself. He made himself known. But I was hoping that he would do something, that it factor. You know what happens. The All-Star game was pretty good. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I fell asleep when mid-third quarter. But pretty good All-Star game. The game itself was pretty interesting. You know, seeing people that normally don't dunk, seeing people win more and shit like that was kind of interesting. Something different. But Twitch added a new system to where, like, I think it's something to do with, like, streaming and shit like that. I watched a video last night at like 11:30 at night, but it was like basically it was like can't remember that. They added a new system in to where if bigger streamers get paid more or whatever, when I get paid more, but they get more viewers, and the smaller channels kind of suffer. And Twitch has been doing shit like this for a while, and, you know, I'm not big on Twitch myself. I don't watch Twitch or nothing like that, but I know for the people that actually want to become a Twitch streamer and actually do things on Twitch, it's kind of hard for them to grow and develop into something when, you know, they're stuck in that phase of like, oh shit, I can't do nothing because everything that I want to do isn't working, you know what I mean? Because it's not catering to like every content creator. It only caters to the creators that build up their that have already built a base and built sponsorships and all that shit, and the smaller people that have just started trying to build that, because streaming and content creation has been evolving for the past couple of years, but it's basically to the point to where if you're not big already, you don't have that clout, that you don't get anywhere until you actually build up and do something. You know what I mean? Get that one thing that everybody's like, oh shit, he started something, or hey, he did this. You know what I mean? It's a little fucked up, but you know, this is how how this realm of shit works nowadays, and hopefully, you know, they actually do start caring about the creator, every creator, not just the already established creators. And another thing that, speaking of, you know, content creation and shit, YouTube, if you're an international YouTuber, say UK, Germany, or whatever, outside of the US, you have to pay the European taxes, and you gotta pay US taxes now for YouTube, and that alone is another big issue. You know what I mean? Because there's people out there that make enough money to scoot by on their own living. If they have a relationship with somebody or whatever, you know, if they're the only person bringing in the money, they have to spend more money to build up their own income and shit like that. And it's to that point to where, you know, they have this income set and everything else, but it's kind of like weird. You know what I mean? That's the two things that I wanted to bring up. But speaking of the Rated X podcast channel, I know for the past 2 weeks we didn't do a podcast. Last week I just wasn't in the mood to do it, and I said something about it today, and, you know, they're waiting for me to say something, and I was waiting for them to say something, but, you know, it's fine, you know. And if we don't do a podcast in a couple of weeks, I'll just probably end up doing this, just hopping on myself and just talking about some shit. I've got let me check something. Check the stock market again. Yeah, so Apple is investing money, well, $1 billion into the EU. So, Apple reporting plans iPhone production cuts, but analysts say recent stock sell-off is a golden buying opportunity. Oh, so Apple stocks are plummeting, and let's see, from a month ago. A month ago, I mean, they're not plummeting badly, because it was at like 130. Let's go 3 months ago. Their pinnacle was 143. And 143, and right now they're sitting at $1 at 120, $120. That's if everybody sells their stock, because I know Apple is working on new features for their phones and shit like that to, you know, do that, doing new features and shit for their new phones that are coming out. I'm an iPhone user, so I'm fine with, you know, what I have. But hopefully iPhone does do something big and their stocks do go up, because I am invested in Apple and I want to do good on Apple. I have something I do want to talk about, though, that outside of like. So I just came on and just started live. I haven't thought of anything to say or nothing like that, but with the with like the cancel culture and shit right now, I don't understand it. You know what I mean? Like the cancel culture of everything. I really don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. Like they're trying to cancel people and do all this shit. You know, when back in like 2015, 2016, it wasn't really like this. And, you know, I'm fine with what they're doing. You know, they can do their own thing, but it's going to reach a point to where we can't say specific things in the world. And it's this sensitivity and shit nowadays. Like, I was talking to my barber, and one of the dudes that was cutting his hair were talking about it. But, hopefully, you know, we do get a better look at a fix on, you know, what's going on in the world right now. What we need to do is unify, not separate and be angry at each other all the time. But it's kind of hard to do shit like that when, you know, everything's so out of whack. We're stuck in our houses all the time and shit. But, you know, there's nothing you can really do about it except for move forward. And hopefully, you know, we do get a better outlook on everything, because, you know, life right now is to that point to where, you know, I don't pay attention to really much of anything anymore. I just sit around all day and watch YouTube and whatnot, and watch TV, play video games and shit. I'm probably gonna live stream on my channel, but I don't know, depending on how I feel later. Probably play some Destiny on live. Another thing I did want to bring up is Eminem getting canceled. And this has happened so many times outside of the cancel term, you know, in Eminem's career, where many times they try to, you know, shun him out and shit like that. But, you know, whatever happens, happens. You know what I mean? Like, it's to that point where, you know, you can't say specific things on the internet and stuff. And you can't do specific things anymore, because it's just going to reach to that point to where, you know, if you do one wrong thing, you know, you're done. And hopefully, you know, we do work this out and get to the point to where, you know, everybody has common ground and everybody's not sensitive. That's how I'm thinking, at least, is sensitive. Because the world nowadays is just terrible. everybody's either too sensitive to do anything, or just at this point I honestly don't know. But yeah, hopefully, you know, that comes out, everything comes out to being an actual fix on everything, and everybody can just work on a common ground again, because it's not gonna happen. I already know it's not gonna happen, but it is what it is. And birthday's coming up next week, I think. Yeah, next Thursday. I'll be 22. COVID got me fucked up. All I'm gonna probably do is nothing, to be honest with you, because of how life is nowadays and shit. But you know, I can't be upset about it. You can't let it get to me, because if you let shit like that get to you, you're just gonna get depressed and put yourself in a bad spot. And hopefully, you know, it changes. Life gets back to how it should be. My guess is it's not gonna happen. There's nothing we can do about it. That's crazy. But I'm trying to stay out of the topics that were put in there, because this is like a tangent, just me talking about shit. But that stimulus should be coming next week. That's what I was told by a family member of mine, because I've been keeping my eye on that shit. $1,400 for people under $70,000 a year. That'd be pretty good. Be able to buy myself a new TV. I got myself a new monitor. I got a dual monitor setup officially this time for streaming and shit on my computer. It's really nice, because one side I could see the chat, and on one side I could just click around and look at shit and talk about shit. It's really nice. Hopefully we get back into the schedule of doing the podcast how we did before. But, you know, shit happens, and, you know, like the thing that happened in Texas with the power outages and the snow and shit like that, we couldn't control that. And I'm pretty sure that it would just been more difficult for him to try to do it, because, you know, cell phone towers and shit like that. He could have did it off of his phone, but it wouldn't have been the same. But yeah. And I really want to talk to him about something in the future when me and him actually get a chance to talk again, but that's a high if. But this channel is doing pretty good, I think. I do believe, but with us not streaming or nothing like that or making content for it, it's kind of hard. That's why I'm here right now. Hopefully that after this goes up, then I'm just trying to think of things to talk about right now. I came on here on the fly. I apologize about that. It's kind of, you know, off the top. Cancel culture. I'm still on the thought of the cancel culture stuff, because, you know, cancel culture is to that point. It's not even at its pinnacle yet. It's at that point where, you know, if I say something off, like I did in my Discord not that long ago, but it's a group of friends, nothing bad should happen out of it. But, you know, this cancel culture, it's in my head, because, you know, it's just so crazy how we're just wanting to cancel everybody and everything in sight. And we just don't want to try to fix it or try to change it, you know. It's kind of crazy to me how that is. But, you know, canceling people must be fun to people that literally sit on social media all day and say some crazy shit and stuff like that. But it's okay if they do it, because, you know, they're doing it for a reason or for a cause or whatever. But, and I've heard that Jesse Ventura was running for president when I went to go to the barbershop yesterday. I haven't been paying attention to any type of politics in the past 3 or 4 months. It's kind of nice, actually. But hopefully, you know, hey, I was told that they're making a third party, the Green Party, a party that believes in both sides like I do. I do pay attention, and when I do pay attention to politics, I pay attention to both sides and believe in both sides, and I nitpick both sides and break it down. But right now, it's just to that point, so where the United States now is to the point to where you can't really do much of anything until you get the vaccine, which is reasonable. I don't really trust it right now. I haven't taken it yet. I'm gonna wait to see how it moves forward and shit, and see how it goes in the future. But there's nothing we can really do about it until seeing actual numbers. That's at least me. I know they're talking about finding out a way to that they're figuring out ways to get rid of what's going on in the world today, the pandemic, trying to figure out different types of ways to get rid of the pandemic and shit. But hopefully it goes smoothly and something can be figured out to where life can go back to how it was, because a lot of people are depressed right now. A lot of people are not themselves right now because of what's going on, and their fake colors or true colors or whatever it is are showing, and a lot of people are just like, yo, what the fuck. But there's nothing you can really do about somebody changing over long periods of time, being stuck inside and shit, because I've been cooped up in my house since last year. I haven't really been going out much. We went out once out to Red Lobster and went out to eat for Valentine's Day with my family and shit. But besides that, hopefully, things go back to normal. I want to go out to a bar. I'm 21 years old. I turn 22 next week, and I actually want to go out and experience the things that I experienced as a kid, but not fully grown enough to actually indulge in the things that other people do. But I'm not angry about it. I'm not upset about it, but it is what it is at this point. That meme hit hard when I first seen it, like 6 or 7 months ago. No. Hopefully, I can. The scalping situation with the fucking everything. People are just scalping to scalp at this point. It's kind of annoying because it's just difficult to try to do things that try to get things for yourself nowadays, because you have people scalping the market and taking everything, and you don't have the opportunity to actually go out and get the things that you want and shit, which is kind of sucks, but it is what it is. That's another thing that you can't really control right now. I was on the market looking for a PS5 like 3 or 4 months ago, and I couldn't find one unless if I wanted to spend like $1,000, and I'm not going to. It's kind of difficult to do shit like that. Hopefully, everything falls in place for people that are struggling right now or having a hard time with things that are going on in life, because, there's nothing we can really do about it, and nothing we can't really change about it. But, it is what it is. I'm not going to be angry about it. I'm not going to, be upset about it, because, a lot of things happen for a reason, or every cause has a reaction. Every reaction has a cause that has a down spiral effect on shit. But it's just how it is nowadays, where you expect things to happen the right way, but it happens the wrong way. And hopefully one day, everything will be back to how it was back in 2018, 2017. But if we actually had viewers in here, they'd ask me questions and shit, but it happens, Texas opened 100% today. It's crazy. Aren't their numbers up, though? And nobody's wearing masks in that video? That's crazy. My state's not even fully open yet. The states that are opening earlier is going to be shut down again in a couple of months. That's why I don't realize, like, these states are like, yeah, let's just open up all the way, or let's test new things. I think it's because we're approaching spring, and a lot of people are just going to go out and do things their way and shit like that, so. But, stay in tune for another podcast for us, and hopefully, we can get one going for you guys. Sorry about the disappearance on our podcast. I'm probably gonna wrap this up pretty soon, a couple minutes. Just getting some things off the top of my head. Okay, let's talk about. I'll give my opinion right now. The Dream situation, the Dream and John Swan situation. John Swan faked everything and shit on Dream, and harassed him and made him look bad. And it's just sad seeing all these content creators or scummy side and all this shit, because YouTube was in a better state 4 years ago, but I think ever since the first apocalypse, everything just went downhill, and I just don't understand how something that has happened years ago, years ago, this affects this platform, with 8 Thoughts removing all of his videos, and that's crazy in my head too. I've never indulged in 8 Thoughts video, but I've seen it go down. It's kind of crazy to me that did happen, but there's nothing you can really do about it with that. Hopefully, he gets his channel appealed and everything works out for him, and he can go back to making money that he needs to make and all that shit, because he is the only one that's making money for him right now. He has a video on his channel, a second channel, explaining everything that went on. And back to the content creators of YouTube. I don't understand how these content creators can go out of their way and make things difficult for other people, and break down other channels because they're giving their opinion on you. They're bashing on your content. It's criticism at the end of the day, and if you can't take the criticism, then why are you a social influencer? Why are you on YouTube making videos? You know what I mean? If after this everybody's like, why the fuck did you do this, or why did you make this on your for the podcast, I'll be like, okay, well, I'll remove it and continue forward. You know what I mean? And it's just difficult for the people that actually make a life out of content creation, and especially with how things are nowadays, where it's hard to keep a steady flowing pay flow and all this shit, and it just turns into bullshit at the end of the day. It's just ridiculous to me, and hopefully if things do change and people can accept the fact that you're gonna get criticism no matter what, and that's pretty much all I can have to talk about right now until we do a podcast. It's been your boy Sam DeathWalk, aka Sam, on our first ever tangent thing where I just randomly ramble about things and give my opinion about shit. And stay in tune for the next podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's going to be on the channel. Comment down below if we should continue doing this with just me, or if I can add other people or whatever. And you guys have a good Wednesday, and see you guys later.